limo jet flying. We Ric Flairin' on them, flaring on them. Jet, we Ric Flairin' on them, flaring on them. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Ric Flairin', gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death, I'm Paul Bearing. Not at all scary. When I open like Betty Wops, then find to these circles that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders, trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry for spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairin' on them, flaring on them. We Ric Flairin' on them, flaring on them. To the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairin' on them, flaring on them. We Ric Flairin' on them, flaring on them. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness, it's really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, Black Sun, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairin' on them, flaring on them. We Ric Flairin' on them. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Ric Flairin' on them, flaring on them. We Ric Flairin' on them, flaring on them.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase, yeah, Bubba C, yeah, Ric Flairin' on them, Ric Flairin' on them, Ric Flairin' on them, Ric Flairin' son up, baby.
Hey, yo, Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's Backpack Capital One. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the swag, pull up where you at. No cap if the Brody is speaking the soft facts. My advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeants with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he offered the least. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walking cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets. What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Scotty back with another one, man. Happy, where we at? Happy Hump Day! Listen, oh, Jesus Christ. Let me say something really quickly, okay? So, it's been a crazy 48 hours for me, right? It's been a very crazy 48 hours. Now, I'm gonna kind of go forward to how we got to this point right here. So, I got the information on Saturday, right? Like I was hearing some whispers and people were texting me that
or close to the situation and was saying, hey, Scotty, some stuff's coming down with Angela, the investigation and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, you know what I'm saying? So then I talk to some people. I get the information. I make the tweet on that Monday morning, and we go from there, right? And usually, I'm gonna just keep it a buck with you guys, because usually I would go live on Monday, right? I would either go live on Monday or Tuesday. That's just who I am. And we'll do it. People, I mean, God, dog. I mean, I ain't never been sent so many articles in my life. Jesus. I don't even read the news like that. Ben was sending me articles, right? So I get it. I get the articles, I get everything, people sending it to me, and they're like, and you know the first question, when the show, what time the show, what time you going live, what time, right? And it's like, right? Now, I'm gonna give you all the stuff that has been, we're gonna get into the topic, but I'm gonna just tell you what's been going on with me, right? This was a very rubber meets road moment for me, right? Because what I despise, and I'm going to be honest with you, what I despise about this space, right? I mean, absolutely despise, is that if they're cool with you, they won't say anything bad about you. I despise that about this space, right? I honestly, I truly despise it, right? Like, if you're my friend, I'm not going to post anything negative about you. If you're my friend, I'm not going to say what it is, right? If you're my friend, I'm not going to do that. Or because as a friend, you shouldn't put me in that situation or that in that way, right? But I look at it as like, if I wasn't your friend, I would still have to talk about it. If I wasn't your friend, I would still have to give the side of it. And the one thing I pride myself on, I'm going to always keep my integrity, is I'm gonna say I'm gonna do the best I can to give you both sides of the story, right? Good, bad, or indifferent, I'm going to give you both sides of the story, the best from the information that I get, and I'm gonna tell you, and you can take it for wherever you want, right? You can take it for wherever you want. That's just how I stand on it, right? Now, this is the part that is troubling for me, because I'm cool with Angela. I am cool with Miss Suggs, right? I'm cool. I mean, she ain't never been to my house, I ain't never been to your house, but she cool. She watched the show, you know what I'm saying? She cool, she a fan, whatever. You know what I'm saying? She really nice. She's been nice to me, I've been nice to her, all those type of things. So it bothers me to do this type of show because I'm cool. But at the end of the day, I gotta be honest. I gotta be fair. I gotta be impartial, right, to what the situation is. That just is what it is. Now, what I can say is this. What I can say it is, and I stand on this. I don't give a damn if Angela Suggs is a 2-time felon. She's still more qualified than OBG.
Oh, goddamn.
She could have robbed a bank, for God's sakes, and still been more qualified than OBG. That ain't speculation. That ain't hearsay. That's facts. And you see it every day in meetings, on board of trustee meetings. Anytime Angela steps up to the stage, you can see she's qualified to be on that stage. So anybody that talks about some, oh, we needed to keep Tiff, oh, OBG should have stayed. No. She could be a 3-time felon. She could have robbed 3 banks. She's still more qualified than OBG.
Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. Certified boogeyman, I'm the one that up to.
That's facts. That's facts. That ain't speculation. That's facts, right? So I just want to get that out the way. Period. So don't hit me with some, oh my God, we should have kept. No. Now, Now let's get into the show. You want to know, I'm going to tell you all my emotions, right? When the news broke for me, right? When the news broke for me, I was in the, here we go again. my God. We just got out of the MAGA situation, and how did we moonwalk into this, right? And then, because I didn't know what it was at first. People just said it was coming about, and then when I'm hearing the charges, I'm like,
I'm going down. I'm going down.
oh, Jesus!
You ain't around, baby. My whole world upside down.
Oh, Jesus! I'm hurt. I mean, my soul was hurt. Monday, I was on the couch. Like, I was like a single mom on the couch, just like laid up. Just, oh my God, are you serious right now? My stomach was hurting. My head was hurting. You couldn't have paid me to do a live show that day. I was hurt. Just hurt. I'm like, damn, and my phone just, I mean, my phone just going crazy. So that's where we at with it. And then Perry, the Emmy Award winning Perry, he gonna call me. He said, "What's going on with your school?" He said, ever since it became your alma mater, they ain't been too good. I said, God damn. Boy, I was like, damn. But here we are. Now, let's get, so if you don't know, all right, here's the over encompassing of what it has been transpiring.
Is now out on bond after being charged and fraud Monday.
I'm Alberto Camargo, your College Town neighborhood reporter, taking a look at the details of the charges and what it means for FAMU.
The Florida Department of Law Enforcement announced that Suggs turned herself in Monday. The charges: 1 felony count of grand theft, 1 felony count of scheme to defraud, and 4 misdemeanor counts of false claims on travel vouchers. FDLE says these charges involve her time with the Florida Sports Foundation as president and CEO. Investigators say Suggs misused her FSF-issued credit card to make wire transfers and personal purchases at casinos. Those charges totaled more than $24,000. Investigators say she coded the purchases as meals and failed to repay the foundation. Suggs left FSF in September 2024 to take the AD role at FAMU, replacing Tiffany Dawn Sykes. FDLE says it opened the investigation into Suggs in November. Even though the charges do not involve FAMU directly, the conversations among alumni are quick to point out that this is not the kind of attention FAMU needs right now. Quote, "Whether she's guilty or not, we need a break from our name being attached to negative news. I realize this doesn't involve FAMU, but how our reputation has diminished with things like this is truly heartbreaking and sad." I reached out to FAMU to find out to what extent leadership knew about the investigation and whether Suggs was still in the job. In a statement, FAMU interim president Dr. Timothy Beard said, quote, "Florida A&M University is aware of the allegations involving our athletics director, Angela Suggs, while she was working with a former employer. While the matter is unrelated to her duties as an employee at FAMU, we are monitoring the situation and will respond in the future as appropriate." Court records show Suggs bonded out of jail Monday afternoon.
FDLE says the investigation remains active.
So my thing is this, man. So that's the situation that it is, right? That's the situation. That's where you at. That's where we're at, right? With all the news and everything going down the way it's gone down. Now, Angela made a statement that said, "Regarding the charges recently brought against me in connection with my previous place of employment, I want to make it clear that these matters are entirely unrelated to Florida A&M University or my current role. I am fully committed to addressing these allegations through the appropriate legal channels. I regret the distraction caused, and I am deeply grateful for the unwavering support, fervent prayers, and continued encouragement I've received during this most difficult time. I remain focused, resilient, and committed to our shared goals and determined to fulfill our ongoing plan and collective success." That was by FAMU's AD, Angela Suggs. Now, she has been placed on administrative leave, right? And with pay, administrative leave with pay, and things that are going on now. The situation is this, right? It's two part, because when the news was coming down, I'm like, how do you have these charges over a certain amount of time, and you get audited, like, okay, so for me, like, the way I kind of broke it down and understood it for myself was like, in the military, we have this thing called TDY, temporary duty, right? And when you go TDY, it could be to another base, it could be to training or whatever. They give you per diem, they give you a card or whatever. Now, they'll tell you how much you're able to spend within a day. It could be $40, it could be $50, it could be $20, whatever. And if you go over that amount, in the military, they just take it out your check, right? They ask you what you pay for. They want to see a receipt, and they do it accordingly. Hey, you were allowed $40. You spend $50. That 10 is going to get taken out your check, right? So my issue was what I was hearing. I'm like, how could an institution like the Florida Sports Foundation, if it started in 2022, why wasn't this stuff ever brought up in the audit? Why was this stuff never brought up, period, right? Because, again, even I'll give a perfect situation. The former coach at Kent State, he got let go because of his purchase card, right? Gambling on his purchase card, right? But it was over a 2-month period to where he didn't make the purchases, and they came back at him, and that is what the situation was. So when I was processing this, I'm like, how does the Florida Sports Foundation let this go for so long? If she never paid it back, if she had never, given the money back, or how do you, first of all, let's keep it a buck. How do you let a black woman go? And I hate to play the race card, but we got to keep it a buck, right? In Florida, how do you let a black woman go as far as you supposedly have for not paying these charges, right? That doesn't make any sense to me. That didn't make any sense to me. And those are just some of the questions that I was asking myself as such. And then on top of it, I'm like, she couldn't have been that bad of an employee. Right now, this is from the Play in Florida, the Florida Sports Foundation Instagram. It says, congratulations to our president and CEO, Angela Suggs, on beginning her position as a vice president and director of athletics. Thank you for 7 incredible years of leadership, guidance, dedication to the Florida Sports Foundation. While we will miss you dearly, we know FAMU is lucky to have you in an exciting new role, wishing you all the success in your new chapter, right? So again, there was no ill will, there was no bad blood in her departure from the Florida Sports Foundation, and things like that. Now, I also want to be very clear before I start bringing up documents, and this is the part I'm gonna tell you. I do believe a part of this, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I do believe a part of this is a hit job, right? I do believe that. I'm not gonna act like I don't believe that the timing of this is just miraculously around a new president getting put in place, the board of trustees doing what they're doing, right? And it just coincidentally started having an investigation in November, and this is what comes around. I think November, if I'm not mistaken, it was either the same time around the check, maybe a little bit after the check. You know what I'm saying? But I think that if I'm not mistaken, I think the check was around that time, or whenever graduation was. So it could have been around that time, right? But so it makes my ears stick up, right? It makes my eyebrows shoot up a little bit, just to be like, oh, what's going on here? What is this all about? Right? Now, listen, a part of me, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. A part of me feels like the boy off Power Book. This is what I be feeling. I'm not gonna lie to you. When I be dealing with FAMU, I kind of feel like Zeke from Power Book, right? This is what I feel like.
My whole career over this shit. And now they gonna question us up at the school. I think I gotta tell them what I know.
You don't need to tell nobody shit about this family.
I think I gotta tell them what I know. That's how I be. I think I gotta tell them what I know. I think I gotta tell them what I know. That's how it feels when you be dealing with FAMU. Like, I gotta tell them what I know.
Almost ended my whole career over this shit. And now they gonna question us up at the school. I think I gotta tell them what I know.
You don't need to tell nobody shit about this family or what we do.
If I don't tell them that I got jumped and they find out that the dead body in the pool was related to y'all, I'll lose everything. I might need to distance myself from what y'all do.
I might need to distance myself from FAMU. I might need to distance myself from FAMU. I gotta tell them what I know. I gotta tell them what I know. Now listen. To this point, right? To this point, all I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna bring up these documents that have been sent, and I'm gonna read through them. Now, if you don't want to know, if you don't care, that's on you, right? But I'm going to read them, and we're gonna go through them because at the end of the day, this is what the charges are. There is no question of that. This is what the investigation is all about. The documents that I'm about to pull up, because again, that's just fair reporting, right? That's just fair reporting. Again, as much as I can be for Angela and stand with Angela, I still have to give you guys the circumstance of what is surrounding the situation. That's why, one, I was told not to go live because of just getting information and making sure I have it all together before I go live. And this dropped into my lap like 20 minutes before I went live. So here it is, right? Now, hopefully you can see this. Hopefully you Bammers can read this. But this is the official probable cause of what they are charging Angela Suggs for, right? Charges. Grand Theft Auto over 20K. Okay, hold up. Sorry about that. All right. So, Grand Theft over 20K, less than 100,000, first degree felony. What is going on? Hold on, let me get out of this. It's closing out my document. I might have to add it to my slides, but hopefully I can do it one more time. All right, let's try this one more time. All right. Make sure it don't stutter on me. All right, cool. All right. 10 false claims on travel voucher, second degree misdemeanor, 4 counts. Yeah, I'm gonna have to add it for a slide. I'm sorry, guys. Let me just add it for a slide. Let's see if I can zoom in. It's not gonna let me zoom in. Oh, this is bad. I don't know what's going on with my stuff. It won't let me. Let me see here. See if I add it to. All right, and I'm gonna zoom in. All right. Oh my God. I don't know what is going on with my stuff right now. It is really jacking me up. They said we are not doing it today. Let me see if I can. All right. So hopefully I can get through it. All right. Hopefully. All right. It says the card is not. Let me see. Background. It says Suggs was hired as the president and CEO of Florida Sports Foundation in 2017. Florida Sports Foundation is a direct sport organization operating under the Florida Department of Commerce. All right, I'm going to skip down there. Suggs was issued, I'm right here. Suggs was issued a FSF Visa corporate credit card on September 9th, 2018. Suggs was provided a Visa card rules and regulations form and signed the form acknowledging the following. The card is not authorized for employee meals in lieu of per diem. If you need funds for an FSF trip in advance of up to 80% of estimated per diem can be requested. Personal use of the card is not allowed. If you use the FSF Visa card by accident or an emergency, payment is expected for these charges within 5 days. That is very key, right? That is very key, 5 days. Abuse of loss of receipts or personal use may result in termination of your credit card privileges. Receipts are due to finance within 7 days after trip immediately. If used for purchasing or prepayments involving a trip, receipts should be attached. Being careful not to tape or highlight, blah, 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 right? All right, grand theft. Here we go. The following expenses were charged to Suggs issue FSF credit cards. You can see Resort World Las Vegas, August 16th. You got this one. 2022, got this one. You got the Seminole Hard Rock Casino. You got all these on the on June 29th and the 30th of 2024. You have these on February 17th. You have the August 26th one, and this is how you come up with a total of redacted the address. I mean, like it's public information. Like this is a public document. Like this is a public document. Okay, so I can't help that. It's a public document. That's why they redacted the social security number. It's a public document. Anybody can find this. Okay, so don't kill me for that. All right, here we go. Your affidavit was conducted a sworn interview with Eddie Price, Director of Finance. Suggs was at Resort World Las Vegas in 2022 as part of the FSF attended event. During the visit to the Resorts World, Price witnessed Suggs gambling while at a casino. The two receipts related to the expense of $536 and $112 were located. Both receipts were indicated that they were cash withdrawals from the teller counter and not business meals, as later claimed by Suggs. To support her claim that the expenses were for business meals, Suggs provided a list of numerous persons whose meals she claimed to have paid for using the card. The names and the costs were submitted on a travel voucher. Now, the person listed were Carol Dupius, visit Toledo, Nathan Gow, visit Franklin, and Matthew Billingsley, visit Bakersfield. Phone interviews revealed that none of the subjects knew Suggs or attended a meal sponsored by FSF or Suggs. Several of the subjects stated that the conference they were attending provided all the meals. Now, this is where you get in very gray areas, right? Because her job, right, as a Florida Sports Foundation CEO was hospitality, right? So she was, when you hear her, like she would bring in people to wine and dine them, right? To bring their events to Florida. That was her job, right? Play in Florida, right? So if it's concerts, sporting events, any of those things, that's what she was able to do. Right? Wine and dine, bring people in, pay for their meals, and all those type of things. So a lot of this stuff, again, is in the gray space. But based off the document, if she was putting the names down and they didn't attend, I don't know. Listen, I'm just reading off the document. All right. This ain't Scotty's opinion. I'm reading off the investigation document. All right. Here we go. So, interviews with Brenda Johnson, assistant to the head of finance, and Price were conducted related to this trip. Both Johnson and Price confirmed that Suggs reported the expense from February 16, 2024 as an error. I don't know what is going on with my StreamYard. I am about to be so done with this thing. All right. Interviews with Brenda Johnson, assistant to the head of finance, were conducted and related to the trip. Both Johnson and Price confirmed that Suggs reported the expense from February as an error, stating that she used the wrong credit card. There were 5 separate charges from the Seminole, totaling $2,800. Moving on, during their interviews, Johnson and Price both advised Suggs returned from the trip and advised she had used her FSF credit card in error again to make purchases. There were 11 different charges over 2 days that totaled $13,000. Right? An interview with Latoya Smickett, who was the assistant to Suggs, was conducted. Smithwick advised that Suggs again returned her trip, advising she used the wrong credit card to make purchases. There were 5 separate charges over 3 days that totaled $5,000. Documents from FSF were located, which suggested Suggs repaid. Again, that's what I said, right? Like, how did somebody go this long without having any of this stuff come up? Suggs repaid all the above expenses except the $649, which were 2 charges. Suggs, oh my freaking God. I'm sorry, guys. We're going to have to just fight through it because at the end of the day, this is what it is taking me. All right. I apologize. All right. So it says two charges Suggs falsely claimed as business meals from the Resorts World Las Vegas trip, but were in fact cash withdrawals made at the casino teller. Reimbursement payments for Suggs. Other listed casino trips were made from Suggs FSS by two payroll deductions of $755 on March 31st, 2024, one payment by cashier checks on July 3rd, $15,167, and a payment of $5,877 via 6 Western Union money orders on September 16, 2024. Per the FSF Visa corporate credit card agreement signed, she was required to make payment for an emergency or accidental purchase within 5 days. Based on records related to Suggs reimbursement, she did not follow the corporate card agreement on more than one occasion. All right, scheme to defraud. Listed of the business meals, Resort World, listed as a 2-person meal in-room dining. Sarasota Courtyard by Marriott listed as a business in-room dining. Suggs listed the above purchases as business meals. Sorry, guys. All right, everything's just acting up. All right. Suggs was told about her unauthorized both Smithwick and Johnson stated in sworn statements that Suggs was told about her unauthorized purchases and was advised she needed to pay the amounts back. At no time did Suggs reimburse FSF for the above expenses. It was learned that Suggs had Smithwick fill out a lost receipt certificate for the items. She could not provide receipts. Smithwick also stated Suggs was provided names of persons who attended business meals when receipts were missing. False travel vouchers. During the course of the investigation, additional records from FSF Department of Commerce were reviewed and revealed that Suggs had travel documents submitted in her name with the knowledge that the expense were not authorized for the benefit of FSF. It was determined that Smith falsified or caused the travel documents to be falsified by claiming expenses as business meal when in fact they were cash withdrawals or room dining charges. Both Smithwick and Johnson had roles in processing Suggs' travel documents for reimbursement. Both Smithwick and Johnson stated Suggs was questioned by them about the purchases and was asked to provide receipts. Smithwick stated that Suggs was unable to provide the receipts for the business meals and provided names of individuals who reportedly attended the meals. Suggs then had Smithwick complete her travel documents by using an electronic signature, certifying that purchases were authorized by FSF business. Suggs' reimbursement from the Las Vegas trip was the time period of August 3rd through August 19th, as indicated, submitted by Suggs, and a final approval was by Sarah Olette on October 24th, 2022. Reimbursement form for the Orlando trip was time period, was indicated, submitted by Suggs, blah, blah, blah. All right, here we go. Smith, okay. The below expenses in Suggs' claim were FSF businesses were determined to be for personal unauthorized purchases. The funds listed below used by Angela Suggs was never paid back to FSF, which is the $1,300 you get right here. Investigative findings. The following findings are based on the evidence, documentation, and information obtained during the OEI's investigation. On August 16, 2022, Suggs made a cash withdrawal using her FSF credit card on the resorts. A 500 transaction fee, $36. As again, you can see all these charges. Claim the expense or travel defense. Suggs submitted a hotel receipt. Okay. Here we go. On February 16th, she used her FSF credit card 5 times at the Seminole Hotel, at the Hard Rock Hotel. And these are the charges you just saw earlier in the documents, right? And these are the totaling. Here you go. Suggs made payments. Here you go. Suggs made 2 payments to FSF by way of 2 payroll deductions to cover a portion of the above expenses. The court indicated payment was made March 31st, 2024. Suggs made a payment of FSF of $15,000 by the way of cashier's check to cover the portion above expenses on July 3rd. Suggs provided FSF with 6 Western Union orders totaling $5,000. Based on the facts developed during the years of your affiance investigation regarding, as it was determined that, here we go. From August 16th to 2022 through August 29th, 2024, Suggs was holding the position of CEO of the Sports Foundation, knowingly engaged in systematic ongoing course of conduct with the intent to defraud Florida Sports Foundation in state of Florida of $1,314 to wit, used her state-issued credit card to pay for her non-Florida FSF expenses. From the fiscal year 2022 through 2024, Suggs knowingly and unlawfully obtained the total amount of $23,000 from the use of her FSF credit card with the intent to temporarily deprive the FSF in the state of Florida of the funds. from the fiscal year of 2022 to 2024, Suggs submitted or caused to be submitted false travel documents indicating that funds used were FSF business when in fact the funds were used for personal gain or pleasure. Wherefore, as the affiant respectfully requests the insurance of warrant directing the executive director of Florida Department of Law Enforcement or any duty authorized inspectors of special agents, as well as all sheriffs, blah, 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 to arrest Angela Suggs as identified above, present her before the court to face legal proceedings as specified, right? So, Florida Department of Law Enforcement. So, again, just wanted... listen, at the end of the day, this is what I wanted to do, right? I didn't want anything to be like, oh, rumors, this, that, or the third. No, that is the document. These are the charges that were brought that got her the arrest warrant, right? Now, again, she paid back the stuff, but this is the part where it's going to get very finite and very tricky. And I'm going to tell anybody, I look at it like this. I don't think that what she did at the FSF, good, bad, or indifferent, should affect her at her FAMU AD job. It should not, right? And getting removed or whatever, because there's too many times you've seen white people get caught up in corruption, get caught up in stealing, caught up in and they get off or they do their thing and they go to another job and they do their thing and everything is whatever. Now, certain situations, they continue to do it. Some situations, they turn over a new leaf and they move forward. That's my thing. So none of this happened at FAMU. It was all from her previous job. But at the end of the day, where they're going, where the rubber is going to meet the road is because, and at the end of the day, if you signed a document stating of what you are or what you understand the rules to be, right, and you don't follow the rules accordingly, that's how they're going to get you. That's just very simple. Doesn't matter if you pay it back. Doesn't matter if you give it all. It doesn't matter if you missed it. It does not matter, because in this day and age, being black, being a woman, having all these things against you, right, that they're going to get you on the technicality. Regardless, if she would have paid every dime back, if there was nothing left for her to pay, they were going to get her on the technicality. They just were. Again, is the time bad? Is the timing horrible? Yes. Could it be a hit job? Me personally, I believe so. But again, it's the same thing I said when FAMU received the check. Once you let the white man in your business, don't be surprised of where it goes from there. And where we're at now with this situation is, again, Suggs could have been doing her job accordingly to what they asked her to do. But once you don't follow the parameters and what you put in the thing, and again, it's a state job. Again, it's a state requirement or whatever the standard is or whatever the parameters are, they're going to get you on it. They're going to get you on it. It's tough. It's tough. Now, I don't believe she's going to get jail time. I do not believe that. But there's a consequence that's going to come from this. And I'm going to say this as well, right? The tough part of this is, let's say Suggs gets off. Let's say they slap her on the wrist. It's a $5,000 fine. You know, everything's dropped down to a misdemeanor and she gets to move on by her day, right? Probation. Yeah, she's on probation or whatever. This is what happens when you open that door. Now you're going to give Marva a reason. Do I keep you? Even though, again, I believe Angela Suggs is more than qualified to be FAMU's AD. More than qualified. But at the end of the day, the question is do I keep you, knowing the cloud that is going to come with you? Now you're just giving somebody a reason not to. Right? Like before, if Marva would have walked in and fired AD Suggs, everybody would have been like, damn, for what? Why? She's qualified. She's talented. She understands FAMU. She gets all of it. But now you've given her a reason to say, you know what? I don't know. Because why? If this is how people think, right? It's no different than if I steal from my friend and you find out, they're going to be like, damn, if you stole from your friend, you ain't going to steal from me? Right? It's one of those situations. Now, from what I've heard Marva and Angela have a relationship. So I hope there's some understanding there. And I hope there's something that they can look past and move forward, because I do believe that having, even if you don't like Marva and whatever, I think having Angela as your starting point is a great place to be at, because she can move within the state of Florida really, really well. Right? But again, I'm just calling a spade a spade. It's not any shots towards Angela. I'm just telling you what people are going to think and how people are going to think, because that is what it is. I do not care if you want to compare this to a white situation, because at the end of the day, she is a black woman. And there are certain things that she doesn't get because she's black. She doesn't get all the understanding. She doesn't get all the look past. She doesn't get those abilities because of that, right? So again, that's why we've always been told you have to be twice as good to get half as much. And you cannot play this game to where you allow white people in your business. You just can't play the game like that. Right? So do I think Marva should keep Angela? Absolutely. But would I understand why, if she does decide to let her go? I could, because at the end of the day, you didn't put yourself in a situation to be kept. That is what it is. Now, again, it's a tough situation. It is a very, 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 very tough situation. And I think Angela can get through this, and I think Angela can get through this and look past it. But it's not anything that's just it's just not gonna go away. It just isn't. Right? Because I'll say it like this: even if you keep Angela, there's always going to be the joke. Right? There's always going to be the joke. There's always going to be the situation. There's always going to be something. Now, and I'm glad somebody brought this up. Now, what I heard is this. This is what I heard. What I heard was her assistant. What I heard was that her assistant was mad that she was not taken to FAMU, and she brought these charges to the Florida Department of Finance. I'm going to say that again. The rumor that I heard was that, word on the street, is that her assistant was not Smithwick, right? Was not able to be brought. Angela did not bring her to FAMU with her, so she reported Angela to Florida. That's the word on the street that I received. So it makes sense, if the investigation started after she was hired, that it is what it is. Now, my second question is if she's still the CEO of the Florida Sports Foundation, does this investigation even happen? I say it does not. I say it's not. Allegedly. Okay. Allegedly. That's what the word allegedly. Word on the street. Allegedly. Right. That's what happened. Right. I don't believe this. If she's still the Florida Sports Foundation CEO, I don't believe this is even a thought. I don't believe this is even brought up. I don't believe this is even a case. I don't. Again, but situations occur, situations happens, and now you find yourself in some stuff. And it's tough, man. And again, I'm going to stand with Suggs. I'm a fan of Suggs. I think she's good for FAMU. I think FAMU should not push her aside because of the situation at the Florida Sports Foundation. I think that would be dumb by FAMU to do so, right? I honestly believe that. And can I say this? And I know you guys aren't going to like this. There's a person that you see every day. There's a person that you see on every broadcast. There's a person that you see on every broadcast, every HBCU event. Anytime people say HBCU, they bring this light-skinned man and put him in front of you. May I remind you that he has a manslaughter charge. I'm going to say that again. The light-skinned man that they put out in front of you every single day has a manslaughter charge. Not finance, not fraud, manslaughter. So if you can digest him talking to you every day with no ins or outs, with the Bama works for ESPN, he works for HBCU Go, he works for all these platforms, and nobody has anything to say. Just digest him. He's done his time. He's out, whatever. Bro, I'm just listen. I'm just keeping it a buck with you. If you're able to accept that and nobody pariah him and nobody turns their back on him and nobody doesn't allow him to come into their school or talk to their students or whatever, then no. That's not how this works, right? I'm just telling you. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say that. That's it, right? That's it. So to me, it's again, can FAMU look past this? Absolutely. Whatever the outcome is, right? Probation, slap on the wrist, a fine, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know how the state of Florida works. I don't know the stipulations on every contract. I don't know the stipulations of every single charge or whatever. I do not know. I'm not going to act like I do. But at the end of the day, can FAMU look past this? Abso-freaking-lutely. If you want an AD, if Marva or Beard want to put in places that her purchase card is overseen by somebody else, whatever, or she has that's just what you have to do. That's just what you do. Because if I'm not mistaken, I remember OBG ran her purchase card up. I don't see her getting, okay, let's just call a spade a spade. Let's call a spade a spade. You see what I'm saying? Let's call a spade a spade. So at the end of the day, how can you trust her? You don't have to. That's what you have an overseer for the card for, right? If you got an overseer for the card and you put her on a limit, thank you, Ms. Hunter. If you put somebody as an overseer of her purchase card, then that's just it is what it is. You just have to put parameters on people, right? Like if you bring Angela back as a FAMU, listen. It's like this. If somebody's an alcoholic, I'm not going to keep them around the bar, right? And if you don't trust Angela with your purchase card, then you don't give her one, or you give her something that it has a limit to it, or you can't make withdrawals off. Like, you just have to put things in place to protect your institution and protect herself, regardless of the fact, if that's what it comes down to. But again, is she capable of doing her job? I believe she is. Is she capable of doing right by FAMU as an athletic director? I believe she can. I do. That's what I'm saying. That's how you get around those factions. If you feel like that person is good for the job, you put parameters in place to make sure that doesn't occur. Simple. Very much simple. But overall, listen, at the end of the day, she hasn't done anything to FAMU though. She hasn't done anything to FAMU. That's what I'm saying. Like, I can't. I was about to say something. I'm not gonna go there. I've grown. If you dated a girl that was a hoe before you, you can't hold her to your past until you feel as though she's being a hoe towards you in your relationship. Is that something you keep in the back of your mind? Yeah. Right? Like, if my wife, okay, I'll use myself as an example. In my first marriage, I stepped out, right? If my wife can know that I have a woman problem, right? Like I look, I do this, I do that, right? I'm a reformed hoe, right? So she might, that's why, no, it's not a bad analogy. It's really not, right? So that's why I don't go nowhere without my wife. Like, I don't travel without my wife because I'm not going to get myself caught up in a situation where I will end up like that, right? But those are parameters that I had to put on myself. You see what I'm saying? Like, if my wife looked at me as still a cheater, then we wouldn't be married. But you have to give that person an opportunity to reform. And if you think, if without the information that you have, you thought Angela was still a great person, or you thought she was still a great AD, that doesn't change because nothing she has done has affected FAMU other than the bad publicity because now she is a FAMU person, right? But she hasn't committed any of these offenses against FAMU, right? So again, that's how that works. That's how that moves. You cannot hold somebody accountable. You can be mindful of it. You can put things in order to make sure that that doesn't happen to you. But at the end of the day, if somebody's going to cheat on you, they're going to cheat on you. If somebody's going to steal on you, they're going to steal on you. So it's so much things you can or cannot do, right? For me, for what Angela has done for FAMU, what she is going to try to take FAMU and understanding FAMU and hiring and all that type of stuff, I think you got to give her the opportunity to get it right. I think you got to give her a chance to fix it. I would. I'm telling you what I would do. I'm literally telling you how I would position it. If I was if you can, dog, let me, I'm so sorry, bro. I'm so sorry. You're telling me, I just want to be very clear, because this is the shit I cannot stand about this space. You guys pick and choose shit all the time. You pick and choose shit all the time. Like, of what you will allow and so Art Browse, who has not been committed of anything, has not been charged of anything. You said Grambling people said he shouldn't have been the offensive coordinator. Grambling people felt that he shouldn't have been a coach. And HBCU people get all up in arms. We're giving a white man opportunity, blah, blah, blah. Then you guys turn around in the same goddamn space and give somebody who has a manslaughter charge, you put him on everything. Everything. It is the most backwards ass shit I've ever seen in my life. It's so backwards, I don't understand it. And I'm telling you exactly what the situation is. If I wanted to hire Angela Suggs as my AD, I'm not going to put her over my purchase card. There is something that is going to be in place to make sure. There is something that is going to be in place to make sure that she doesn't hurt herself, nor does she hurt my school. That is what it is. That is what it is. So you're telling me that she's not, like, I'm not understanding. If people are doing redemption, you can't pick and choose redemption. If we're able to, if the HBCU space is supposed to be for Black redemption, if it means for students, if it means for administrators, if it means for any of these people, right? If that is what the space is supposed to be for us as our people, then how do you pick and choose who you can and cannot give to? That's all I'm saying. Because you'll recycle a coach who's ass. You'll recycle a coach who's bad. You'll recycle an AD who's bad. You'll recycle a SID who might be bad. You'll recycle a compliance officer that might be bad. I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding that. It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me. No, that's listen. The fact of the matter is that if you putting people, I can't understand it. I can't understand that. I can't understand that. I cannot understand that. I just can't. I'm gonna just keep it a bucket. Just can't understand it. So for me, so let me get this. And let me get this straight. I'm just trying to. I just want to understand everything, because there's a lot of things in this space that just does not make sense to me, and sometimes, right? Because when I talk to Southern people about their band director who got pinched for rerouting the money, and how Southern people explain it is that the money was going in. The money, instead of the money going to the general funds and going back to the bank, going back to the band, he would take the money and then he would put it to the band anyway. Now, I don't know everything he was doing with the money, but that is what it is. So you're telling me that person can't get another chance? Like I just don't I do not understand it. To me, it's like, if you're going to be redemptive, or if redemption is the space, if redemption is what HBCUs or what the black space is all about, because you quick to say you won't give a white man a chance because he's white. Why he got to come down here to get a chance? But then you're not going to give your people a chance. I'm just not understanding it. And to me, all I'm saying is that I would put somebody over the purchase card. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Right? Like, again, the Jackson State presidents, like, like, you sleeping with students. Are they able to get another chance? Like, to a certain extent, like, you got, okay, like, it's one of those things where to me, it's like, hey, can people change? Like, that is the key to it. Can people change? And what bothers me is that black people are so hard on each other, right? Like, you see it in the white spaces that a lot of times white people give white people another shot. You see it all the time when it comes to coaching, when business, you see it all the time. White people give white people chances. I mean, goddamn, Donald Trump is the ultimate. He's a convict that became president, right? Like, it's stuff like that to me, to where you're like, you can't. I don't understand it. I just don't understand. I just wish that we would be. I just wish that we could be like, you can't. I just feel like you can't pick and choose situations, right? You just can't pick and choose situations. Right? You can't pick and choose situations. That's all I'm saying. At the end of the day. And I would hope that FAMU can look past it. If they don't, that's them. If they don't, that's them. But again, it's a situation. Hugh Freeze, thank you so much. Right? So do you demote her and keep her on staff? No, I don't. Listen, I don't think you demote her. I think you just keep her as your AD. Again, and she doesn't. Listen, man, you can. I'm not justifying anything. That's going to get taken care of in the court of law. I can't justify nothing for Angela. That's going whatever she did at the Florida Sports Foundation, she got to answer for that. All I'm saying is for FAMU can look past it if they choose to. That's it. If they choose to, they can. And it shouldn't be like, oh my God, like why would they? No. Hey, listen. You're not over your purchase card. Very simple. You just put it very simply. Any unauthorized purchases on your purchase card is immediate dismissal. That's it. That's very simple. That's it. It's very simple. And if you want to play the game, then we fire you. It's very simple. Like, again, you put the parameters in place. She don't follow the rules. She's gone. Very simple. Because FAMU can trust somebody that hasn't scorned them. She hasn't scorned FAMU. So why would FAMU play like, hey, you haven't scorned us, so we can still rock with you, but we're going to put this in parameters. That's all. Oh, yeah. I mean, is she going to jail? What? They got to find a new AD if she in jail. You know what I'm saying? If she go to jail, they got to find a new AD. What are we talking? Come on, man. Like, what are we talking about right now? What if she go to jail? Then, goddamn, they got to find a new AD. Very simple. They ain't about to wait home like, oh, my baby daddy coming home from. No, they not. No, that's not the case. If she go to jail, you got to find a new AD. We're gonna put somebody in place until Angela get out, and then we go. Come on, man, stop it. Y'all now y'all need to stop it. Listen, I'll tell you straight up, I'm not putting this on anybody, but let's say hypothetically, let's say Ashley Robinson was in this situation. I would look past what? If Ashley, I'm so serious. I am so serious. Listen to me when I tell you this. And I don't like Jackson State at all. At all. I can't stand them niggas at all. But if Ashley Robinson had found himself in this situation, I would look, if I was Jackson State, I don't give a damn what Scotty say. I would look past it like it was a blimp. It was what? I would say, hey, pay that back, Ashley. We're gonna keep it pushing. I'll put somebody in between. Hey, listen, before you make any purchase, you got to go talk to this person and make sure they approve it and blah, blah, blah. And we're going to keep rolling along like ain't nothing happened. Because his impact is bigger than the charges. They just are. Now, again, if the state of Mississippi gets involved, then I got to wait for that process to do it. Maybe you keep them on administrative leave. Maybe you don't, whatever, however that situation works, because you got to go through that. But yeah, if he beats the charges or he got to pay a fine or probation or whatever, best believe I'm bringing him back. No. And I'm going to be honest with you. If Jack State fire him, I would hire him so fast as another HBCU school, it will blow your freaking mind. I would hire him. If I was Southern, I would hire Ashley Robinson in a heartbeat. If I was Prairie View, if I was Alabama State, if I was any school in the SWAC, I would fire my AD and hire Ashley Robinson. I don't give a damn what charges he had. Don't care. Do not care. Do not care. You see what I'm saying? So that's just me. If I would have got it, probably. We ain't letting them go. Like you gotta do stuff. You gotta do stuff accordingly, right? Like you gotta take, like somebody said, by case basis. And listen, again, my statement of support is because Angela's my friend. That's just because I'm cool with Angela. That's why she got my statement of support. I'm gonna stand with her. But at the end of the day, what I do not like about this space is that somebody who's a friend of somebody wouldn't have just done what I did. That's the part that I hate about this space, is that because I'm cool with you, I'm not going to do my part of telling people the story. I'm only going to tell the side that I want to tell, and that's not how I get down. That's just not. Period. And good, bad, or indifferent, I had to tell it. Right? It's no different now. I remember when people was like, when I was rooting for Quincy Casey, and people was like, "Oh, Scotty, your boy Quincy." I like, he played like trash. If Andrew Body played a bad game, I'm gonna get on here and say Andrew Body played like trash, because at the end of the day, my integrity is bigger than my friendship with anybody, because I carry myself in a certain way, and I cannot hold people accountable of what they won't do to what I will do. If that makes any sense to you guys, right? So I can't say Fox News is Fox News and they only tell you one side of the story, and then I come on here and only tell you one side of the story, because then that makes me no better than Fox News, right? So again, my statement of support and my opinion of support is going to stand firm, but I'm also going to tell you what the situation is and what she's facing and what the situation is occurring. My opinion is my opinion, but I'm going to give you the facts of the matter. And that was the facts of the matter, what I just read. Now, however that lays out and plans out, that has nothing to do with my friendship with Suggs, because at the end of the day, she put herself in that situation. I did not. So I can still rock with you and still have love for you, still support you, still pray for you, all those type of things. But at the end of the day, the facts are the facts, or the case is the case. Let's not say the facts are the facts. The case is the case, and these are the charges brought against you in that case. So I'm going to let people know that. The accountability, Jay, is me. Like, this is the part where, like, I see like Jack State people really don't be like comprehending very well. The accountability is me getting on my platform and literally reading you the arrest warrant breakdown. That is the accountability, Negro. What are we talking about? That's the accountability. Come on, man. It is what it is. Thank you. Thank you. Has nothing to do. I didn't have this. So all you would have got was my opinion of my support of Angela. That's all you would have got. And then you would have been on here talking about oh, Scotty, you don't even want to talk bad about Angela. I'm like, bro, I have no information to say anything. All you would have, if I would have came on here on Monday, all you would have seen is my somberness with no information. That's it. And all you would have heard me, you would have got on this channel and you would have heard me 30 minutes of just saying, I don't think she did it. 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 And then I would have had to come back on here today with the document, and then all you niggas would have been like, well, Scotty, look like she did it. Look like she did it. Look at that. Wow, look at all those charges. Look at all this. Look at all that. Don't look like she didn't do it to me. That's all y'all would have been saying. So instead, I got good information. Said, hey, listen, just chill out. Hey, don't do no show. Chill out. Get all the information, then do your show. All the information and do the show. There you go. There you go. You didn't see this all on the paper. All you saw was that you didn't see all the charge. What you saw, what you see here, you did not see in the paper. I don't give a damn what you're talking about. All you heard was $24,000 on this charge. There was not a breakdown. There was not a paragraph talking about how they talked to this person, how they did this, how she said this, how she went there. There was not, all that was not in the paper. You're lying. So shut the hell up. You're lying. They lying, bro. You telling me all this information was in a paper? You're lying. Come on, man. Like, there's no way that you saw all this in the paper. There's no way. Stop it. And what's even better, you're absolutely right. I did. And I didn't even say anything until it came out. I didn't even say anything about the Booty Boys until it came out. I said, I'm telling you, I'm hearing something that I said I can't say it because it hasn't came out yet. I said, but when it comes out, best believe you want to be here when I talk about it. And what happened?
And I can be a freak until the day, until the night. And we can all through the night to the early morning. And I'm thinking around the way on a gangster lean. And we can any time of day, it's all good with me.
That's what happened. That's what happened. That's exactly what happened. Let's not play this game. The information came out, the Booty Boys was back in town, and you got exposed. They got exposed. That's what happens. And I teased it on Twitter. Come on. Anybody who follows me on Twitter, know I dropped the tease on Monday morning at 6 a.m. I said, stuff is going to come out about Angela Suggs. I said, Dave, I know Dave is in here. Dave texted me. He was like, yo, what you hear? He texted me at 8 a.m. I teased that jank at like 6:30 to 7 a.m. So what you talking about? What you talking about? Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I try to keep it fair as possible. Just because I like the turmoil that Jackson State gets put in, don't blame me for that. Blame the Booty Boys.
And I can be a freak until the day, until the night. And we can all
Jack off State University. Stop playing me.
through the night to the early morning. It's putting on a finger around the way on a gangster lean. And we can anytime of the day, it's all good for me.
Jack off State University. Boy, don't play with me. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Let's not act like that's not Jack off State University's theme song. Let's not play this game. Please don't, because I'll go down this path all day. Do a whole nother hour talking about Jack off University.
Throw that ass in a circle, round and round like a merry-go. Throw it back, I might hurt you.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's not. He said that was top 3 episode for sure. I just want to be very clear. Am I hoping for the best for Angela? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Am I hoping for the best? Absolutely. Because that's my friend. I want the best for my friend. But at the end of the day, stuff has to play out in court. All right? Stuff has to play out in court. She with the toddler. She with the toddler. You know what I'm saying? So this. There's a song called Diddy Party.
I don't say right now, fuck whoever get offended.
Oh, that's a little too much for me. Okay, never mind. I about to say, what? Diddy Party? I'm sorry. Anyway, he about to take me down a path. Listen, before I get up out of here, I want to tell everybody thank you for tuning in. Sorry if it's not as entertaining as you thought it'd be. I just gotta keep it a buck, you know what I'm saying? But you know, for FAMU, listen, man.
Here we go again.
Here we go again. I'm gonna do a show. I don't know if I'm gonna do a show today, but I'm gonna do a show probably tomorrow. Probably tomorrow around midday. I'll talk about. I know people want me to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles and the FAMU game going to Atlanta and stuff like that. So I'm gonna talk about that. And I want to shout out my boy, Mr. 32K. I'm gonna do all it tomorrow, but he got me some Delaware State gear. I'm gonna show off my Delaware State gear tomorrow on that show. Shout out to him. He got me decked out in some Delaware State merch. So I can't wait to show that off, man. Listen, until next time, you know what I'm gonna do. I'ma holla. God bless.